The fact is, if they didn't trade him, they would have let him go and got nothing for him. So they had to get something out of that.
The problem with the trade, though, is you can't do it. Well, you can do it the way they did it, but it's just slightly shady. And I called it back when he first got traded. For people that don't know, the story came out yesterday of how the Anquan Boldin trade went down. Apparently, it went down like this. The Ravens knew they couldn't restructure his deal. They had to get rid of him. One phone call was made by one coach to another coach. That coach said, listen, we can't re-sign Anquan Boldin. We're not going to be able to restructure his deal. We're looking to get rid of him. Would you guys like him? They said, sure. What are you looking for him? I said, some type of pick. They said, well, how about a 6th round pick? And the deal was done. No other teams were called. No other teams were even invited in on conversations. There was nothing that even happened as far as ownership-wise. This was gifted. That's why I say gifted. It was... And we sat here that day saying, how can you give up Anquan Boldin for just a 6th round pick?
A guy that was literally a catch away.
And we said, how could there be no interest in a guy like that? And it's because there were nobody else knew it was happening. Nobody else knew. Mm-hmm. It was done before anybody. It broke, and apparently all the other teams found out when we did.
All other 30 teams in the NFL were like, oh, wait, Boldin was up on the trade block? I would have offered more. Nah, yeah, but I didn't grow up with you. You weren't my brother.
Yeah, you weren't.
You're not family.
It was an early Christmas present. Here's Boldin for a 6th round pick because Boldin is way more worth anybody you're going to pick up in the 6th round.
I absolutely agree with that. Now, I realize there's probably no way you can regulate it, but I kind of think of it, and I don't know, maybe this is one you guys will agree with me on, maybe you won't. I kind of look at it like the NFL has the Rooney Rule. No team is allowed to hire just, like if they interview one person, they're not allowed to just hire that guy. They have to interview a few people.
You have to interview, I think that also includes minorities.
That's really what the Rooney is.
That's essentially what it's for. And I believe there was actually a change in that rule within the last couple of days. I don't remember the specifics on that. But the point I'm making is there should be some type of rule to prevent a situation like this. It's great that teams have relationships with other teams that lead to trades, but Baltimore not only left everybody else out of it, but they did it at their own expense. Because you look at it, all right, Jim went to John, or John went to Jim because they're brothers, so he gets the first dibs. All right, fine. You want to say, I'm going to you first on this. What's your offer? All right, I'll call you back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Go to this one. There should be some, and I hope I didn't. Okay, good. Listen, the point is, it's unfair to the rest of the teams in the league.
It is. I agree.
And listen, it's kind of screwed themselves because, like you said, Boldin's worth more than a 6th round pick.
You could have gotten at least probably a third. That's what I was thinking in my head. A 3rd round pick for Boldin, and I think that's fair value.
Yeah.
I don't see 6th round pick as fair value.
Not at all.
And I agree with you that you should have to at least make it league-wide known, maybe. Maybe not specifically say I have to call these other teams, but there should be some type of league message.
Put it on Twitter.
No, listen.
Anquan Boldin's on the trading block.
No, you don't have to go league-wide. I'm saying more than one team. 3 or 4.
You shouldn't be able to call your brother and go, yo, buddy, hey, how's it going? You talked to mom and dad lately? No, I haven't heard from them. I'll give them a call tomorrow.
Okay,
hey, while we're talking,
long and drawn out.
But I feel like that's how it happened. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like they called themselves sitting in their offices just strictly talking football.
Or they went out drinking beer one night. Hey, I got Boldin. You don't want to sign? Shit, I'll take him. Okay.
Exactly. But that's not the way the NFL team should be run. Maybe Louis Primo just walked in. He's got an opinion.
What's up?
Anquan Boldin, he's got to be worth more than a 6th round pick, right?
Absolutely.
It was an absolutely, folks. Yes, that
was.
Absolutely. He's been great for me on fantasy the past 3 or 4 years, so I love him. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Now here's the question.
Comes through, we need him to come through. He catches the ball, does everything.
Here's the question. You got a choice between Anquan Boldin or Greg Jennings. Who do you take?
I know my answer.
This upcoming year,
This upcoming year.
you're taking Bolden.
Oh,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
I was going to say, that's my answer.
Absolutely.
No question.
I would rather Kaepernick throwing the ball to Bolden than I would having Ponder Castle trying to get the ball to Jennings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So real quick, do you guys want to try it? We'll bang out our power rankings, get them over with. We got
right.
to wrap up, so Primo's got some time to get set up for the morning after show, which starts at 12 o'clock. So,
By the way, Fife threw out something interesting, or Larry J. Schmelrose anyway in the chat threw out something interesting. Nothing says you have to accept other offers, but you should have to take the best deal on the table. You should have to, if somebody offers you more, they should
Or
have
at
to
least
take it.
you should leave yourself enough of an opening to find out what the best offer is.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, there's been a lot of times where, a trade will happen, and then you'll hear about rumored trades that could have happened, and they turned down something that wound up, in people's eyes was better than what they actually took. They still had the opportunity to look
Case in
at that
point,
and
the
say,
Dwight Howard nonsense.
yeah, they still had the opportunity to look at that and say, for whatever reason, we don't want that trade, we want this one. And then you leave it to speculation, to decide whether or not popular opinion agrees.
Yeah. I just think that I think it would have been a little more fair if John would have called or Jim would have called John and said, "Listen, hey, we got another offer for Bolden, 3rd round pick. Will you guys match it? And then if he matches it, send him out that way. You can't just call one guy and then just take it.
No, that's
it's almost like I feel like they would have settled on
honestly,
a 7th if
no,
people
like,
wouldn't have really gotten on him for a 7th.
You know